Over the course of time, events take place that direct the path a church will travel, decide the people a ministry will touch, and determine the power of their impact. International Family Church's history is living proof of the hand of God on a people and what can happen when two people step into their destiny. They knew they wanted a church that emphasized family and the nations. They knew that they wanted to teach people about faith, victory, and the believer's authority. What Jonathan and Verna Del Turco didn't know is where they would hold their services.
Verna and I will always remember 1981 as a year of new beginnings. We began the year off very discouraged and very uncertain about our future, but that was soon to change. In April, we decided to start a weekly Bible study. We made up our mind to put the past behind us and to begin to use what God had put inside of us for people. The Bible study began to grow, and we soon understood that we were supposed to start a church. But we searched and finally found a man of God by the name of Dr. Vartan Hartunian, who opened up his heart and his church. So in November of 1981, Faith Fellowship Ministry started in the First Armenian Church of Christ in Belmont, Massachusetts.
After 2 years, it was time to find another church home. They found an old school building in Winchester, and for the next 11 years, the foundation of the ministry was laid. The principle of educating the whole man was established through the opening of Agape Christian Academy and Victory Bible Training Center. The heart for the nations grew through missions trips and partnerships with various missions organizations, and the emphasis on the family developed through children's, youth, and adult ministries. When it was clear that the ministry could no longer grow at that location, the Lord directed Pastor Jonathan and Verna to the facility at 620 Washington Street in Winchester.
We had been leasing for 13 years, and we knew it was time to buy a new building. When Verna and I walked on 620 Washington Street, we knew in our heart that was our new church home. But we also knew in our heart that we were about to undertake the greatest step of faith we have ever taken before.
While construction began on the new church home, a temporary home had to be found. An abandoned school in Malden, Massachusetts became the temporary church home for 2 years. Having been abandoned for several years, the large school building was in need of repair. 4,000 pounds of plaster, and thousands of man-hours later, the building was ready. Little did they know at the time that God had a specific purpose for those 2 years.
The way we remodeled the building, the way the town fathers' hearts opened up to us, gave us an opportunity of a lifetime. And during a 2-year period, God birthed in us a brand new desire to reach people and have a heart of compassion.
As a result of the change that began over those 2 years, community outreach programs developed that have impacted communities and continue to change the course of lives. When the construction finished in 1996, the ministry moved into their own church home for the first time. Many changes would take place over the next 8 years, which positioned the ministry to take the step it is able to take today. In 1999, the name of the church was changed from Faith Fellowship Ministries to International Family Church. The Legacy Youth Center was built to provide a cutting-edge facility to reach teenagers. Outreach programs for people of all walks of life expanded to include the Adopt-A-Block program, street ministry programs, and various other outreaches. IFC's ability to reach out to the nations expanded through training and sending of missionaries, short-term trips, and various other types of support. Discipleship programs and life groups have been developed to establish a pathway of personal spiritual growth. What began as a small Bible study has grown into a ministry that is impacting the lives of people in New England and all over the world.
Throughout our church's history, we find that at every new crossroad, there's a major change. And because we've outgrown our present facility, once again, we find ourselves at a new crossroad.
In 2003, with the current facility at capacity, IFC began planning to expand. After performing studies, commissioning designs, and much prayer, it was decided what IFC would do.
Now, as Verna and I called out to God, something very strategic became very real to us. The deep conviction that we had in 1994 to stay in Winchester had lifted and was no longer there. The mandate that initially guided us to 620 Washington Street is gone. I have made sure to hear from heaven. And I can honestly stand before you this morning and tell you that I am announcing a brand new direction for International Family Church. We are putting our property up for sale.
In 1994, the property at 620 Washington Street was purchased for $1.9 million. In 2004, 620 Washington Street sold for $13 million, a profit of over $11 million.
When we bought our facility at 620 Washington Street, the Lord told me that the miracle of this transaction would not be in the asking price, but to go ahead and give them what they asked for. After 10 years of waiting to understand what the Lord meant when He said, the miracle is not in the asking price, it suddenly hit me. The miracle is not in the asking price. The miracle was in the selling price. Because of this transaction, we are able to pay off our current mortgage, buy our new building 100% debt-free, and have some left over for the initial stages of construction.
Throughout the history of International Family Church, the Lord has guided every event and orchestrated every outcome to make IFC what it is today. It is with that in mind that we introduce the next major step in our history. Ladies and gentlemen, we present the new home of International Family Church. The new world headquarters of International Family Church is located in North Reading, Massachusetts, less than a half-mile off exit 39 on Route 93. This former headquarters of a worldwide corporation is 106,000 square feet in size and sits on over 11 acres of land. Our history has been one of excellence. Continuing with that great tradition, the new home of International Family Church will enable us to have a larger impact on the greater Boston area, New England, and the parts of the world we're called to.
We wanted to first make it convenient for our congregation by finding a location that was close to our Winchester facility and still have access to Route 93 and 95. The new IFC World Headquarters is just 6 miles north on Route 93 of our present location and less than a half a mile off the expressway. We also wanted a facility that would enable us to sustain growth and increase our capacity to fulfill our vision.
Concerts, productions, conventions, expanded facilities for our children, youth, outreach, missions, and educational programs will enable us to reach people of every race, social, and economic background. Our goal is to create the most complete and functional building of its kind in New England.
The corporation that bought this building intended on using it to lease office space. With that goal in mind, they spent multiple millions of dollars to remodel the outside and clear out the inside to tailor-make it for each one of their clients. Little did they know that they were preparing this building for International Family Church. What I love about this building is its unchurchy look, while still maintaining a very high level of excellence. What I envision for this building is a place where people can come to be restored, a place where destinies are discovered, and a place for the churches of New England to come to be encouraged and equipped to be a blessing to their world.
The numbers have changed, the buildings have changed, and the outreaches, ministries, and impact have changed. But one thing has always stayed the same. People are still the most important thing about International Family Church.
We still need every partner and friend of International Family Church to come alongside of us with your prayers, your talents, and your financial support to make this a huge success. Jesus said it best in Matthew 9:35-38. It's all about the harvest. God has a vision, and His vision is for the harvest. And a vision for the harvest is a vision for people. This will enable us to empower more people and transform more communities.
International Family Church is called to be on the cutting edge of what God is doing in New England. Never in our history have we had the opportunity that we are presented with today. But it is going to take you. It will take each and every one of you to make the vision a reality. Destinies are waiting to be discovered, and lives are waiting to be restored. Will you partner with the vision? Will you impact your world?